Good morning students. In today's video we will discuss about poem number 6 Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, written by Adrienne Rich from our book Flamingo. So before taking up this poem, let's know something about the poet. Adrienne Cecily Rich, life tenure 1929 to 2012, is an American poet, essayist, and feminist. Feminist means one who has strong belief in the social, economic, and political rights of both genders. She is one of the most widely read and influenced poets of the second half of the 20th century. Her earliest work, including A Change of World, which won the prestigious Yale Younger Poets Award, was formally exact and decorous. Her work of the late 1960s and 70s became increasingly radical in both its free verse form, feminist, and political content. Background of the poem: Aunt Jennifer's Tigers is a poem by Adrienne Rich illustrating her feminist concerns. In the male dominant world, a woman of her time was only supposed to be a dutiful homemaker. This poem, through the word of Aunt Jennifer, tells us about her inner desire to free herself from the clutches of abusive marriage and patriarchal society. Patriarchal society means male dominated society. About the poem: in this poem, we will be introduced to a lady called Aunt Jennifer. Aunt. The very word brings to the mind the picture of an elderly lady. By reading further, we get a very loud and clear hint that the poor elderly lady is a sufferer under the cruel weight of uncle's wedding ring, which as a married woman she is tradition bound to wear. She seems to be sorely distressed, extremely distressed and terrorized. The poem throws light on the trauma this woman suffers from on account of being married to a tyrannical, bossy, and domineering husband. Her sleek, chivalric tigers present a sharp contrast to the timid and oppressed poor woman called Aunt Jennifer. Let's move to the poem now. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They don't fear the men beneath the tree, they pace in sleek, chivalric certainty. Screen means a piece of cloth or canvas that you can see in the second picture at the bottom. Word meanings, difficult word meanings in the stanza are mentioned here. Prance, to move quickly with exaggerated steps. Screen, frame used to do embroidery on a cloth to make a tapestry. Tapestry, piece of thick textile fabric with pictures used as a wall hanging or soft furnishing. Topaz, a stone of a yellowish brown color. Denizens, inhabitants or residents. Beneath, below. Pace, moving fast. Chivalric certainty, bravery coupled with confidence. At the bottom, the picture of topaz, a stone of yellowish brown color, that is mentioned here. And at the right side, there is Tapestry Explanation. The poet is describing a lady whom she addresses as Aunt Jennifer. She says that Aunt Jennifer is doing embroidery on a piece of cloth which could be a tablecloth or a wall hanging. She has designed it with beautiful tigers which are running fearlessly in the green forest. She has described their beauty by comparing them with the precious yellow stone known as topaz. She says that they appear bright yellow in the green backdrop of the forest. They are fearless and they are not affected by the presence of men. Here we can sense the contrast of behavior between the tigers and ant. Though the tigers designed by her are fearless, but she herself is afraid of her husband. Further, the poet says that the tigers are proud and fearless citizens of the forests. They are very shiny and elegant. Poetic devices used in the first stanza are imagery, bright topaz denizens, which describes vivid descriptions suggesting various images. Contrast, tigers don't fear the man beneath the tree, while the tigers are fearless. Aunt Jennifer is terrified of her husband. So contrast between Aunt Jennifer and tigers is mentioned. Symbolism, the tigers symbolize bravery, courage, freedom, self confidence, and strength. Aunt Jennifer symbolizes women as a whole under subjugation and oppression in a patriarchal society. Second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Meanings are mentioned here. Explanation. Here the poet describes the fear of Aunt Jennifer towards her husband. She says that while she is doing embroidery, her fingers are quivering, shaking, trembling with fear of her husband. Her husband doesn't approve of her hobby of embroidery. Therefore, she trembles while she is embroidering the piece of cloth. It has become difficult for her to pull her needle up and down. Then she describes the wedding ring, which was given by uncle to Aunt Jennifer on their wedding day. She says that it is a kind of burden for her to wear this ring. She has been tortured by her husband so much that the wedding ring, which could have been a beautiful gift for her, seems like a burden to her. She has faced so many difficulties in her married life that the little ring is described as a heavy band on her trembling fingers. This means that the ring is associated with some bad experiences in the form of torture she has faced because of her husband's dominating behavior. Poetic devices, symbolism. The wedding band symbolizes oppression and patriarchal society. Her embroidery symbolizes her innermost desires and is a manifestation of her feelings, and that although she is mortal, her embroidery will live forever. Irony, the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band. Marriage is supposed to be happy union of two souls and should start peace and joy. But for Aunt Jennifer, her marriage is marred, is ruined by brutalities and a miserable existence. Stanza 3. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Difficult meanings. explanation. In the last stanza, there is a prediction about Aunt Jennifer's future. The poet says that even when the Aunt Jennifer is dead, she will still be subjected, she will still be controlled or suppressed to the horrors of her marriage and be petrified of her husband, whom she had been mastered by both in life and in death. There is no escape for Aunt, as her hardships will follow her everywhere. But the tigers in the panel will continue to live on as they have been made immortal by their creator. Long after Aunt Jennifer is dead, the tigers will also be there, standing confident, strong, bold, and fearless. So, let's discuss about the theme. The poem is a feminist poem and revolves around the theme of male chauvinism and gender conflicts. It also highlights the theme of victimization of the women by their male counterparts. Aunt Jennifer is victimized and suffers the oppression of her male counterpart even though he is absent. She is never able to liberate herself from the oppression of custom and law. Aunt Jennifer thus creates for herself an alternate world of freedom, one which she can inhabit only in her imagination. So, dear students, this is all about the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. Thank you. Have a nice day.